Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And this is my 200 subscriber live stream. Let me just find YouTube Studio. Turn down the brightness. So we take a look. I now have 200 subscribers. I have them a lot earlier than expected, but I set it a goal to reach them by Memorial Day, and I did. Right on time, exactly. Because a lot of my subscriber counts I haven't reached on the specific goal date. It was either before or after. But this time I reached it on the actual time. So you see, I finally have 200 subscribers. Now, I know when I did my 100 subscriber live stream, I probably talked about what led me into Apple. And some of my favorite Apple products. Hold on. On this live stream, I want to sort of compare two devices and talk about the prices of both of them. I know I did make a video a little while ago comparing the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 13 together. And currently that video has, if I can get the camera to focus here, or if I can get it to not move as much, 92 views. Now let me check on the stream, as I'm going to need to name it and edit it. Give me 1 second. I probably can name it from the Samsung Galaxy A15. Oh, that's what I use to stream it from. $200 subscriber live stream. Okay. So I will be checking in. Let me refresh YouTube. Okay, I thought for a second my sound wasn't working. Just to make sure, I can also view it from this device, which it will show up on. Just let me go to it. And also, just checking back. Making sure my live stream is good. Okay. Now, let me turn on my light, my office light. Actually, you know what? There. It's a much better light to use. I will be answering your questions. If you have any, you can leave them in the comments or the chat. But I will be comparing the iPhone 14 on the left. We don't need to compare this. That's the Samsung Galaxy A15. I use that device to demonstrate tutorials on Android, as well as to, when it becomes available, cover updates on One UI 7.0, which I did a YouTube short on the expected release date. And if you haven't seen that video, this is it right here. And it currently has 8 views. One UI 7.0 release date. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this device over here. So here we have on the left, or if we put them this way, here we have on the left the iPhone 14, and on the right the iPhone 13. Now I will be using Gemini on the Galaxy A15 to look up information as well. We don't have to worry about that device unless I'm covering it in a specific video. Now, these phones pretty much look identical. They pretty much do look identical. I know this is the 200 subscriber live stream. In my last live stream, which we're going to watch back, by the way. We're going to watch it back here. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. I know my live stream is on here. Give me 1 second. One of the phones that have the 3 cameras. And welcome to my live stream. We're going to be talking about, come on guys, the upcoming, I need to find my 100 subscriber live stream to watch that back. Oh, I passed it up several times. Underneath my desk. Just decided to keep it around. Okay. Found it. My 100 subscriber live stream that I'm just gonna watch back as well. I honestly love the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's one of my favorite iPhones. I know I'm talking like I have the phone. I don't have the phone. I just seen pictures of it. I only wish I could get it, but I might be able to. And even if it's not the newest device, okay. So I'm going to be comparing the iPhone 13 to the iPhone 14. And I'll be comparing them together. In this video, I'm going to talk about their specs. Figured I should just do that for my 200 subscriber live stream. And I'm going to go over prices of both phones. So, from the information that I've researched, on the iPhone 13 or 14, we have a 1.5 aperture wide camera. And an f2.4 aperture ultra wide. Whereas on the iPhone 13, we have an f1.9 aperture or 1.6 aperture and an f2.4 ultra wide aperture. On the 14, we have an f1.9 aperture, and the iPhone 13 has the same cameras as the iPhone 12. On the front facing, we have an f2.2, and the 1.9 is the front facing on the iPhone 14. Now, I don't think that's a downgrade. Obviously, newer phones have better numbers, but I'm going to research that using Google Gemini. On the iPhone 14, is it a downgrade in cameras from the iPhone 13?
No. The iPhone 14's cameras are generally considered an upgrade from the iPhone 13, though not a revolutionary leap. Here's a breakdown of the improvements. Main camera. The iPhone 14 features a larger sensor, 1.9 micrometers pixels versus 1.7 micrometers on the iPhone 13, and a wider aperture, f/1.5 versus f/1.6. This allows it to capture more light, leading to improved low light performance and better detail. Front camera. The iPhone 14's front-facing camera gets a significant upgrade with autofocus and a wider f/1.9 aperture compared to f/2.2 on the iPhone 13. This results in sharper selfies, especially in challenging lighting conditions, and better low-light performance. Photonic engine. The iPhone 14 introduces Apple.
So what kind of cameras is on the regular iPhone 14 in comparison to the iPhone 13 and iPhone 12?
Let's break down the camera systems of the regular iPhone 14, iPhone 13, and iPhone 12. While they all feature dual 12 megapixels cameras, wide and ultra-wide, the subtle but important hardware and software improvements across generations lead to noticeable differences, especially in challenging conditions. Here's a comparison. iPhone 14 camera system. Rear cameras. Main wide camera, 12 megapixels, f/1.5 aperture, larger sensor, 1.9 micrometers pixels, sensor shift optical image stabilization OIS, ultra-wide camera, 12 megapixels, f/2.4 aperture. Front camera, 12 megapixels true depth, f/1.9 aperture, autofocus, a significant upgrade. Key software/computational features.
Is the f1.9 aperture front-facing camera an upgrade from the f2.2, even though it seems like it's a little lower in numbers?
Yes, an f/1.9 aperture is an upgrade from an f/2.2 aperture, even though the number is lower. Here's why. In simple terms, aperture and f number have an inverse relationship. The f number, f/ followed by a number, represents the focal length of the lens divided by the diameter of the aperture opening. Lower f number.
So that's how the iPhone 14 is set up. And I will be unboxing it, but just like in my last live stream, either of these boxes have the phone. That's kind of something that I've been wanting to do ever since I started this channel back in November, is get the chance to unbox an iPhone, or just any device for that matter. Even if it was an Android, anything to unbox like a product would be something that I've wanted to do for quite a while since I started this channel. And it looks like next month I'm going to finally get the chance to do that with the iPhone 14. Unbox it and use that as my main device. Now, I'm not going to set it up on video, but I am going to unbox the device. I'm going to unbox it, do a little review, just talk about the specs. It's not going to be a full review. I'm just going to talk about it, just talk about the outside, the cameras, but I'm going to do a test where I show everything I'm talking about in another video where it's a proper review. It's going to be the unboxing video first, then the review after that of the iPhone 14. And those iPhones are a little more cheaper. Those devices are more cheaper. Let's do the research on the iPhone 13 and talk about how cheap it is compared to the iPhone 14. What is the price of both the regular iPhone 13 and iPhone 14 unlocked, refurbished, sold on the web?
The price of unlocked, refurbished iPhone 13 and iPhone 14 models sold on the web can vary significantly based on storage capacity, cosmetic condition, and the retailer. However, here's a general range based on recent listings. Refurbished unlocked iPhone 13, 128 gigabytes. You can find these generally ranging from $250 minus $430 USD. Prices can go higher for premium or excellent condition devices or lower for acceptable condition. Higher storage, 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes. Expect prices to increase with more storage, typically in the range of $280 to $450 plus USD. Refurbished unlocked iPhone 14, 128 gigabytes. These typically range from $270 minus $530 USD. Apple's official refurbished store might sell them around $529, while other retailers offer lower prices depending on the condition. Higher storage, 256 gigabytes, 500.
So, are the iPhone 13 and 14 significantly cheaper than other models?
Yes, generally, refurbished iPhone 13 and iPhone 14 models are significantly cheaper than the newer iPhone 15 series, especially the Pro and Pro Max variants. This is a common trend with electronics. As newer models are released, the prices of older models, both new and refurbished, tend to drop. Here's a break.
So, I would say you can find the iPhone 14 and 13. With the iPhone 13, I would say either at or under $300. With the iPhone 14, under $400. But some websites will sell it for $300 to $320. It's significantly cheap compared to other devices. They're significantly cheaper. We're going to look at some iPhone 14s. $128 GB iPhone 14 refurbished. $128 GB iPhone 14 refurbished in midnight. I'd say this is the best deal. Although it doesn't really say the price on here. I gotta get an unlocked version. Refurbished, unlocked iPhone 14 128 GB midnight. Sometimes the prices can go up or down. Let me go on the iPad and see if it's changed at all. Sometimes it says $310 and others it's saying $320. But you can generally expect to find it under $400. You can generally find the iPhone 14 under $400. Now, I want to talk about the progress that I've made. Oh, and I now have, during live streaming, I now have 202 subscribers. Well, I want to now talk about the progress of having this channel for as long as I did. I've been running this YouTube channel for about 6 months, and I think I hit 100 subscribers back in sometime in March. Sometime in March, I hit 100 subscribers. And now 2 months later, I now have 300 subscribers. But I currently have 302 subscribers. It may look backwards, but I'm going to spin it around. I currently have 202 subscribers, not 300. But that's my next milestone by August 1st to reach 300 subscribers. That would take me at least half the whole summer, but I might push that milestone to be a lot sooner. Maybe as soon as July 1st, since June hasn't even came yet. But I currently now have 202 subscribers. So initially, when I started this channel back in November, it was initially going to be Apple content and hopefully some unboxings And that hasn't changed. I'm still going to be unboxing the iPhone 14. Whenever I'm able to get that device, I will have the iPhone 14 and unbox it for you guys on the video. But I'm also going to be occasionally reviewing Android devices as well. Like the Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. I will be reviewing that device as well. And I will be reviewing it with the One UI 7.0 update. Now, I made a little short on that one. We're not going to get that update till sometime in late June or early July. It's really tricky with Samsung because unlike with Apple, when they release any updates, we get them all at once. But Samsung is sort of a gradual rollout across their flagships first. So the S24, S25, and S23. And then their budget devices, the A55 and then the A15. This is a Samsung Galaxy A15. I've reviewed this phone many times on my channel, and I will continue to review it and test out how One UI 7 performs on here. I will continue to review that for you guys. There was an update on One UI 6.1. I installed it on May 22nd. I did not do a video as the update was so significant. It just said iOS or One UI 6.1. I get so used to using an iPhone. But it said One UI 6.1, and that made me think it was a very minor update. But there might have been many updates to One UI 6.1. Maybe they don't name it like they do with iOS, how we get an iOS 18.5.1 and then a 18.5.2. Maybe it's just a double point update and they will release new updates with different build numbers. I wish they would update the actual update number like how Apple does it so we actually know we're on a different version. Because it just said One UI 6.1 and there was an update on May 22nd. But the update was so minor, I didn't do a video on it. It was just a bug fix update. I did think it was One UI 7, but they released that in other countries, such as Korea and other places. They did not release it here in the US, but they will eventually. And when they do, I will have a video out where I talk about what's new in One UI 7. We're supposed to get updates like even more rounded icons, but these icons are already rounded. They're more rounded than the ones on iOS. We're supposed to get iOS 19 with circular, or sometimes, as some people may call them, squircular icons, where it's a combination of rounded and square, where the Snapchat icon is more rounded. We're supposed to get that in iOS 19. And the first initial beta, I may or may not install depending on whenever I get my iPhone, my new iPhone, the 14. I'm not just going to install the beta without having another device to run stably on a stable iOS version, because you will need a computer to downgrade, which I don't have. And if you don't have another device to put it on, you're basically exposing your main device, which is my iPhone 12, to a lot of bugs. So I will put it on another device, my 12, when I upgrade to the 14, and I'm keeping this 12, keeping it as my beta testing device. I may or may not put it on the iPad. I might just install iOS 18.6 on the iPad, as that's a less big update, and the smaller updates, while they may be in beta 1 phase, like 18.5 and 18.6 in the beta 1 testing, those smaller point updates, because in the 0.5 and 0.6 updates, we don't get as many new features like we do in, say, the 0.1 and 0.2 and 0.3 updates. We do get new Pride wallpapers and new Unity wallpapers, but other than that, not really many features this late in the software. So typically, beta 1 may not be as buggy as, say, installing a beta 1 to a major iOS update, such as iOS 19. I'm not going to make this live stream an hour long like some of my other ones. But I'm going to talk about my plans for the summer regarding this YouTube channel. Figured I should just mention that in this live stream. Well, to put it simply, next month is my birthday in June. I may do a video on my birthday. I may not, because I may be busy celebrating it and also unboxing my iPhone 14 that I'm going to review on the channel for you guys. And then in early June, we're going to have iOS 19 Beta 1 released. And then hopefully at some point, we get One UI 7.0 or One UI 7.0. We get it on the Samsung Galaxy A15. And I figured out a way to turn on the landscape home screen. This is something that I miss on iOS. How we have the landscape home screen kind of reminds me of Apple CarPlay. So I will continue to make videos on both iOS 19 and One UI 7, as well as the iPhone 14 I'm unboxing. I will continue to post that on this channel. I might think about putting the public beta on my iPhone 14, but I might just leave the beta to my iPhone 12. It's always safe to put it on a stable version, because even the public beta, while it's less buggier than the developer beta, the public beta can also have a ton of bugs as well. And if you hear background noise, that's just my brother. I'm going to end the live stream. I wasn't going to make this super long. Couldn't really think of anything to really mention except comparing these two together and briefly mentioning One UI 7.0. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. I look forward to reaching my next milestone, which is 230 subscribers. Since we are quickly going, and while I'm at it, I will check again my subscriber counts. I still currently have 202 subscribers. I'm going to let you take a look at it again. I am thinking about starting a podcast. I've been thinking about that ever since I started my channel. I just can't figure out how to start that exactly and what app to run it on. I might start a second YouTube channel that's dedicated for podcasting. I got to figure out a way to do that. But I'm going to end this live stream for right now. I will do a live stream after WWDC. I may be live before that, but I will definitely do a live stream after the event. If I go live an hour before WWDC, that's basically me talking about what we can expect to see as like a surprise. What are all things we can expect to see at WWDC? And then when I do a live stream after that, I will talk about what was announced. And if you can't tell, I did get a haircut. If you haven't looked at my last live streams. So I'm going to end this live stream. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And I look forward to next month. I got a couple things happening next month. My birthday is one of them. And WWDC and unboxing the iPhone 14. Not this one, because there's nothing in here. But the one I'm going to get at some point. I look forward to unboxing that. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.